Good afternoon and welcome to Sippin with Jameelah B. Of course, I am Jameelah B. And before I get started, I want to thank you for tuning in with me today. And please make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also share it. So today I'm switching it up a little bit. Normally I roll solo, but today I have invited my twin sister, Kameelah Spence, to join the broadcast with me today. So because we're going to discuss something that we've been talking about for the last week or so. So Kameelah, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to the conversation, a very important conversation that we're going to have this afternoon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to say I'm sipping on a little Moscato today. Last week when I did it, 2 weeks ago when I did the show, I was detoxing, so I could not really sip on anything. So I'm enjoying my Sunday afternoon and I'm sipping on a little Moscato. So what are you sipping on, Kameelah?
A little rose. I just something a little simple today. I don't drink wine and things like that, but I just decided to have a drink with you since it's sipping with the sisters.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I don't like drinking alone. Okay, so like I said, Kameelah and I have been talking about this for the last week or so. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring her onto the show so that we can discuss it in depth. And what we're going to talk about today is internet challenges and pranks and the consequences and things that can happen when they go wrong. And one in particular that we're going to highlight today is the crate challenge. You have to have been sitting under a rock in order to have not seen this challenge the last couple of weeks. It's when people are stacking milk crates up like a pyramid, and the goal is to make it across, like on top and across without falling. It sounds crazy to me just thinking about it, but it's even crazier to see people doing it. And if you're not really familiar with it, I don't know how you really can't be familiar with it, but if you're not really familiar with it, I'm going to show you all a little bit of snippets of people actually going across the milk crates. Just 1 minute. And before I get started, some of the videos have language in it. I just want to, let people know ahead of time, especially my mother, because she's watching. So there are some people in the background of these videos. I'm reminding you all that the videos are done with people. They're out and about recording it with their cell phone. So anything goes. There's no censorship. So there may be a little language that might be a little offensive to people. So I'm just putting a warning out there ahead of time.
I told y'all I wasn't shit but some crazy.
See, this was a man failed.
I gotta go to work. Crate's gonna kill more people than COVID-19. I done broke my fucking spleen. Don't run, little dummy. They better have to start you a GoFundMe. And where y'all get these fucking crates?
Yeah, that was a mess.
Now look at this, 2 women on top of crates.
Look at this wedding cake. Look at this wedding cake.
Jesus, the back.
Laughing.
And this one right here really got me because this woman broke her arm in the process of going over these crates. And you can hear the people in the background pressuring her to continue over the crates, telling her she can't stop once she starts.
You can't touch.
Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Come on.
Go ahead.
You got it. You got it. Come on. You got it. Good job for that run. Now run.
her arm is broke. Yes, Jennifer Thomas. You asked where are they finding all the milk crates? That's a great question. Probably stealing them from behind stores or who knows where, because I'm going to get into that a little bit later in the show, how it's illegal to have these crates unless they're carting milk, but they're getting them from all over the place, which is making it, kind of questionable. Like, where are they getting these crates from? And as we can see, it's a very death-defying stunt. I mean, these people are falling from high levels off these crates, and they're falling on their necks, their backs, just anywhere. We even know of a man who fell, I think in the metro Atlanta area. He fell and he split his face open.
Wow.
So it's just getting crazy out here. So go ahead, Kameelah.
No, it's just a tragedy. It's like creating a pandemic within a pandemic. I recently saw an elderly man who didn't even look like he was in the best of health. And he looked as if he had maybe 15 minutes left to live. He looked very unhealthy, climbing these crates, and he fell back on his back. And people were screaming and cheering it on. I'm like, what's funny about that? That man is in severe pain. I said, I am very concerned of the status of that man today. I really am. And people were just cheering it on and this and that. But it brings us to the larger conversation of why people are doing this and encouraging, especially elders, to participate in such a disgusting challenge.
So, as we know, social media has taken on a life of its own. And every day, especially during the pandemic, a lot of the challenges have become, our form of entertainment. So I think, out of boredom and out of, really not being able to be out in society, a lot of people are partaking in these challenges to, just have something to do. So at the end of the day, either good, bad, or indifferent, people are doing them. And a lot of times people want that 15 minutes of fame. Okay. People love to be seen. People love to be heard. People just love the whole idea of being the center of attention. So a lot of times people are taking this opportunity to just be seen and just make a name for themselves, no matter how foolish or crazy it may seem. And also, it's not just kids doing it. A lot of people tend to say, okay, these are young people doing these stunts. No, as we can see, most of the people that I have seen in these, hey, Nicole. Hi, everybody. Most of the people that I have seen doing these stunts, they're adults. They're very seasoned individuals. These are not children who are doing these stunts. What about you, Kameelah? What have you seen while doing them?
Well, like you said, it's majority of adults doing it, and there's two comments in the chat that I do want to comment on. Right, Zim Remy 2020 stated that, first of all, if you pass the weight class, it's a joke, but you might not want to climb the crates. That's a fact. Most of the people that are getting on the crates are not in the best of shape and health, and that's just the reality. And Elijah stated that the Dolphins mascot did the challenge without falling. That takes us to another conversation. A lot of the people that are getting on this crate thing, getting on these crates, I don't even know. A lot of them are not even skilled to do these things. And you never know the level of ability the mascot, the gymnastics training or whatever the mascot may have. You never know. But a lot of people are, very unsuccessful. I've seen more failures than successes going across this thing. And it's creating a huge problem and strain on first responders. And also the medical staff having to treat people coming into the hospital with broken arms and ribs, spines due to the crate challenge. So it needs to stop. It really does.
And then, some people, literally they have a competitive nature and they get an adrenaline rush, from doing these stunts. And as you can see, they're out, doing it. They're the center of attention. There's crowds of people around them, egging them on to continue. And the thing about it is what they fail to understand, these people who are down there encouraging them to continue doing it, are they getting up there on those crates? Are they breaking their backs? I mean, I saw one man, I couldn't find the clip again. He looked very, I hate to say old or, try to say someone looks old. Because I'm 43 and I would not get up on those crates because at my age, I hurt my back a few years ago on my steps. I fell. And when I fell, I still have the lasting impact of that fall on my lower back. It still exists. So I couldn't imagine right now. And I'm dealing also with a neck injury from an exercise, I was doing. So I can't even imagine right now, climbing up on these crates and actually falling. And what would happen to me at that point if I did do that?
And that prompts another question of the possibilities of the injuries that can occur when you have a fall. I worked in healthcare policy and safety for many years, and I used to go to nursing homes, and one of the major concerns in the nursing homes was preventing falls, fall prevention. And a lot of times when those people will fall, it will be truly detrimental to their health, truly. And we have to think about the consequences of these challenges and what could be the aftermath of them. And I know you have some other things that you want to bring up in response to that.
Yeah, Elijah, people are very impressionable, and with the desire to want to fit in, to be accepted, a lot of people are doing those challenges. And a lot of times we need to look at the mental stability of a lot of people who have agreed to do this. Sometimes depression could be the reason why they're doing it. And by doing this, putting themselves in these situations, it takes away from what's really going on inside, if that makes sense. A lot of people, they mask themselves behind doing things that may seem, death defying or gives them some level of acceptance. So I do feel like that has happened a lot with these different challenges. And it's not just the crate challenge. I mean, there have been other challenges throughout the last couple of years that have taken on a life of its own, and they have had detrimental consequences. Not only are they, you get injuries, some people have died due to these challenges. And another thing, the reason why Kameelah and I felt it was important to get on here and talk about this topic is because a lot of people do not know the legal ramifications that can come into play when doing these challenges or these pranks. What can actually what is the responsibility or the lasting impact of doing these things? So our mom, she put in there, does insurance cover these challenges and accidents? And I'm glad you brought that up. We will get into that more so towards the middle of this discussion, but that is a great topic.
But back to what you were saying, Jameelah, not to cut you off, about the liability of the matter. There was a food truck owner who advertised during the challenge, if someone can get across get across successfully, that they will give them $200. Sorry, give them $200. Give them 200. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Give them $200 if they get across successfully. And they went to their attorney to get a waiver to see, that they wouldn't be liable if anyone gets hurt. And the attorney said, even with a waiver, there's still a possibility of liability against them if someone is injured during the crate challenge on their watch.
And to bring that up, a lot of people are doing that, like, for example, celebrities have joined the bandwagon and is promoting it. For example, Boosie, who has a humongous following, he offered $1,000 to somebody who would get over the crate. So, people are money hungry and they want to be shout out by Boosie. So they will go to wherever he is to do this challenge, and they will get over it and they want to get the $1,000. So that's horrible that we have people doing that.
I like that statement. By
these challenges are a direct result of just how mankind has been mentally distressed and now are willing to take part in these very dangerous acts. Exactly. That's true.
And people are trained, those death-defying stunt people that do those things, they're trained for years to do those things. And, half of the people that's getting across on the crate challenge, they probably never even put on a pair of roller skates before. So it's a lot of stuff going on with these challenges.
Yes, thank you, Zen Remy. She is weighing in on her opinion. I just want everybody to know that it's not my dog in the background. That's Kameelah's dog. My dog is being contained at the moment. Sparky knows how to behave when I'm on live. That's Osha. I just want to let that be known. So yeah, and another thing, a lot of people, I'm not trying to stereotype or anything like that, but based on some of the people that I have seen doing these challenges, they're from very vulnerable populations. Again, I'm not trying to stereotype, and I don't know any of these people. I'm glad I don't know anybody who has participated in any of these challenges, but some of them look homeless, and they're being offered money because you can hear the people in the background, offering them money if they complete the challenge. They're offering them, you can see some people that may look like they maybe have a substance abuse issue. And, those are vulnerable people that are willing to do things for money, and they're being taken advantage of and exploited by people out here. Just want to get their laughs and giggles off someone breaking their neck on some crates. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was one part of what we were talking about. And then, it's taken on a life of its own. And even like a lot of the social media platforms like TikTok, a lot of the videos were being shown on TikTok. So TikTok is covering themselves. This should let people know that this is not acceptable and that they should not be doing this, because TikTok made a statement. It prohibits content that promotes or glorifies dangerous acts, and we remove videos and redirect searches to our community guidelines to discourage such content. Mm-hmm. So TikTok has taken that initiative to say, okay, they don't want to be liable for anybody,
And they've also banned the hashtag.
Yeah, and they have removed every video that has any type of hashtag or anything that directs it to the crate challenge. So that's important for people to know that this is very serious and they should not be taken lightly. So we talked a little bit about the consequences. And I think my mother brought up earlier about life insurance, insurance policies and different things like that. So the consequences of these challenges. Number one, Daryl said, I'm too old to do dunk challenges. Me too. But there's a lot of people that are older than us that are doing it, because we, like Kameelah and I said, we saw somebody that was very old doing it.
Yeah.
So, some of the consequences from, doing this challenge that people don't even think about. Number one, of course, you can fall. Okay, you can fall. But what's the severity of that injury? You don't know what's going to happen. And some medical professionals have spoken out. This is how serious it is. It has been on like nationwide television, news channels. We've had medical professionals to speak out on the issue because they know they don't want to see, these people in their emergency rooms. They don't want to have to deal with this because, right now, as we all know, we're living in a pandemic. COVID is taking over the hospitals and the ERs. So there really is no space for you to come in and receive treatment. So Dr. Andrew Doyle, a pediatrician with Wellstar Health System in Georgia, and he has followed similar social media challenge, says the risk of injuries range from minor to potentially life-threatening. Mm-hmm. So again, our bodies don't always heal the same, and things can happen that can possibly, alter your life completely. Just think about it. You can be impaired to the point where you can't walk anymore, mm-hmm. Where you can die. You can literally die. I mean, you break your neck, you can die. And so a lot of these doctors, they're very concerned about it because a lot of these people are falling on concrete. And one doctor in particular said they can bust something in a vessel in their head. And once that happens, I mean, they may not die immediately. It may be over time. Mm-hmm. So why would you voluntarily place yourself in a situation to where you can die or you can cause yourself some type of lasting impact that can alter your whole life? And then you have to think about yourself as well as your family. Because if something happens to you, who's going to be responsible for caring for you? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be your family? Or, if you're alone, what is that going to look like? So while you're doing these death-defying stunts to get attention, think about the cost and what's going to happen, the consequences of it. As if we need another reason to place hardship on our medical professionals who are battling life-threatening issues. Can we please stop this?
I agree because people don't realize foods looking to go viral. I mean, that is true. I mean, people aren't looking to go viral for whatever reasons I don't understand.
Yeah.
I may have two devices on, I'm sorry. But, it's just one of those things where you just have to think realistically about your health at this point. Right. And, there's a lot of people who don't realize that a fall can interrupt, how you get around, your daily chores, or even the opportunity to live independently. So you have to think about those things.
Yeah, because you can, the injuries can include broken wrists, shoulder dislocations, ACL or meniscus tears, as well as life-threatening conditions like spinal cord injuries. And I know people personally with spinal cord injuries, and that's not an easy thing to deal with. And if you voluntarily place yourself in a situation like that, I mean, you have to think about long-term care. You have to think about what your medical bills are going to look like. What you have to think about all of that. So in the moment of people thinking about all these different challenges, they need to be thinking about all that stuff. And also a doctor, I think he said that a lot of these injuries that occur, like for example, different things you might require surgery for, they won't be covered under your insurance. They are under the umbrella of elective surgeries. So think about that. An elective surgery is cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
So you can you break your arm and you might require surgery, but if your insurance does not cover it, you can literally be walking around here with a disfigured arm or wrist or what have you for the rest of your life. So you have to think about those things before you embark upon it. Because one thing God has given us, or however you believe, we have a mind, and our mind is here for us to make conscious decisions and to make, to have good judgment. And don't allow people to persuade you to do something that they're really not willing to do themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And also, with that, people don't, aside from the injuries, there can also be legal ramifications that come into play with these challenges. For example, the young man, I think on the video that I showed, it was a gentleman who kicked the crates over. He kicked the crates over. So granted, the man was up on top of the crates trying to make it over to the other side. He might not have fallen had the young man not kicked the crates underneath him. So he could be liable for whatever injury that man, obtained. That could be on him. Mm-hmm. So when people think about that, and he did look like a young man, and being that he's a young man, 9 times out of 10, he does not have the financial stability to obtain legal representation. So mm-hmm. Who does that fall on at that point? His parents. So in the event that, some child of yours or some child is out there wanting to be funny and think it's humorous to participate in these challenges by kicking the crates or doing something like that, just think, let them know that it can be a legal ramification for that.
But not even the children. I mean, most of the people I've witnessed in this crate challenge are adults. The adults out there willingly going to these parks, advertising these events to get in these challenges. And, it's very concerning because people don't realize that a fall can have major consequences such as financial instability due to medical bills and loss of wages because of the things you're out here doing in these crate challenges and all these other challenges and things like that.
Yeah. And I like Elijah said, it's the same reason colleges have banned hazing. Too many people were getting killed and seriously injured. Exactly. And, being a member of a sorority, Kameelah and I both are, we have serious, rules and regulations and policies in place due to hazing, to prevent hazing and to protect the sorority, because a lot of times, when these things go down, it's under the umbrella of the sorority. So the sorority is responsible for it. So, and to protect themselves, they definitely will, you will be expelled from the sorority if you're found to be hazing, because it's a very serious situation. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know, Thomas, will my rock climbing injury be covered as a cosmetic procedure? I have no idea. I'm not a legal professional.
No, but you have to look into it. There may be some caveats to that, but a lot of times things are considered elective for a reason. I mean, you don't have to rock climb. I'm just teasing.
But I mean, that's a good question, because a lot of times, we think, like for me, I have, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I have a injury right now with my neck and my shoulders. It's very severe. I go to physical therapy and everything. And my insurance does not cover a lot of things. And I wasn't doing a prank. I was just living everyday life. So, there are, it might, and then again, it might not. So I don't know. Yeah, Shanika elder folks too. Hey, Cece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
very unfortunate the elderly people are being subjected to this thing. And I'll be honest with you, it just, I mean, I'm not even trying to be funny. Maybe that's why I go back to the vulnerable adults that are participating. A lot of these people lack capacity to make decisions and they don't look well. And they may not even be that old due to the way they live or what's going on with them health wise. So it's a very serious situation going on out here with this crate challenge.
And I think earlier Jennifer asked, where are they getting the crates from? And I just want to, I mean, a lot of, technically it's against the law. You can't really buy crates. You can't, even though I think a photo went viral showing milk crates sold in Walmart like 99 cents, but they said that it was water inside the crates, but who knows? And then again, my conspiracy theorist mind is going to, are they trying to sell
giving them away at the stores that they work at? You know how things go because they're popular.
Yeah, so it could be that, I'm not sure, but it is against the law to have milk crates. And I know in the state of in Pennsylvania, there is actually unauthorized use of milk carts. Its cases is illegal, so you could be fined up to $300 or imprisonment up to 90 days in Pennsylvania. And this law came into play because they were saying that the milk and the dairy industry was losing so much money due to people using these crates. They lost like $80 million. It was something like that, they said. So they put this law into place. So a lot of people out here who are stacking these crates, if you can see like the actual logo or the emblem of whatever the company, the dairy company, to where these crates are from, you can be prosecuted for that. Because, well, I know for a fact in Pennsylvania you can. I mean, growing up, I mean, everybody had milk cartons. People sat out on the corner on the milk cartons. I mean, a lot of people, the milk crates, a lot of people use them for stacking vinyl albums. So they were used. There's even videos on YouTube showing people showing how you can use crates creatively in your home. So it could be happening. It became illegal because of the challenges. No, Cece, I don't think it did not come illegal because of the challenge. They said that the dairy industry lost a lot of money because people were stealing the crates from like local grocery stores and different things like that. And what the milk companies, the dairy companies were doing, they would recycle the crates, I guess the plastic and all that. So it was a big financial hit to them. So that's why, of course, a lot of times for legislation to go into play, it has to be a financial hit. So it was a financial hit as to why this was back in 1987. I know in Pennsylvania it became illegal. I don't know about anywhere else.
And I think it's illegal in a few other states, but we have to look at what the laws are in your state, state laws to see.
Yeah, each state, has a different law.
Federal law is a state law in different places.
Yeah. So if you're in any of those states where it is against the law, you can definitely be prosecuted for it. And $300 may not be that much, but I don't want to spend a day in jail. So you can spend up to 90 days in prison.
No.
Yeah, so that's serious. And also, back to, I think Kameelah was mentioning earlier about injuries and working and all those things. So let's just say you have a job that requires you to do manual labor. You do a labor job. Let's just say you are the sole provider for your family. Participating in one of these stunts can definitely impact your ability to make money and to take care of your family. Shanika, you used them for under the tree hangouts back in the day. Yeah.
That's what all the kids that have sat on in the
227. But back to what I was saying, like, for example, and a lot of people, they don't think about that, and then they may go to work and say, okay, I was injured on the job. Let's just say you try to blame your injury from the crate challenge on something at work, and you go to work and say, I was hurt on the job, and try and collect workman's comp. These videos are going viral, and a lot of people don't think about that. They only think in the moment. They're not thinking about these videos are actually going viral. So let's just say one of your coworkers, they may not like you. They may send that video right on to HR and be like, this person failed doing the crate challenge, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of times I have friends, some of them who are on this thing right now, who will say they work in jobs where the main people, when they're being reported for fraud or anything like that, it's from people they know. So while people are out here doing this fun stuff and thinking that it's going to, have a good old time, but you injure your back and you can't work, your workman's comp, your ability to make money can be impacted by that, because all they have to do is send that to HR. HR can say you did not hurt your back on the job. You hurt your back doing a crate challenge, and automatically your claim will be denied. And then what will happen to you? You'll be out of a job as well as out of your financial resources.
And real talk, a lot of these people out here doing these challenges may not feel the impact of the falls now. They may already have pre-existing conditions that they're unaware of, and they're out here doing this stuff and causing more damage than good. So it's a lot that can go with this.
Yeah. Why are people willing to risk injuries for a challenge? Thomas, like, I think early on we were talking about how people, they just want attention. People like the glory of being, the center of attention. They like that adrenaline rush to say, okay, I want to get across this challenge. I want to get across these crates without falling. A lot of people have a competitive nature. I have a competitive nature, but I am afraid of heights. I'm definitely afraid of heights. And my sister knows that anybody
Very
who
much so.
I don't drive on bridges. I don't climb ladders. I don't get on roller coasters. I don't do any of that because I have a severe fear of heights. So I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Thomas. I don't get it because I'm not going to do something that I know is going to hurt me. I don't care for how much money or what have you. I'm not going to do something that can possibly alter the course of my life. So, but that's what people are saying. They just want to fit in, peer pressure, just the excitement of being seen, getting those 15 minutes of fame on social media. Some people live for that kind of stuff. So you have to think about the mindset of the person who's agreeing to do it. Hey, Wendy. So, you have, and Mom, I don't know where the crate challenge originated. I'm not sure, but it has taken on a life of its own the last couple of years.
It started after the Olympics because they started calling it the Hood Olympics. So it started like during that period afterwards. So I'm not sure who originated it. Whoever did need to be ashamed of themselves.
They really do. And also, let's just say you die from doing one of these challenges. I mean, that is a reality that can happen. I mean, freak accidents happen every day where people die from injuries. So do you have life insurance?
And that's a good question.
That's a major thing. Do you have life insurance?
Because the thing about it is, not trying to assume, but a lot of the people out there doing it for $50, $200, $100, $1,000, the likelihood of them having life insurance is very slim. Very, very slim. If they're going out there for that amount of money to risk their lives.
Yeah, the first place as an investigator is on the social media. That's how many of these people get caught. Exactly. Yep. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they don't care. They don't think about that. They're like, oh, I want to be seen. I want to go do this challenge. I want to be seen. And they go out there and they do it. And voila, right there on social media, easy face is just identifiable as they come. So yeah, I mean, they do that. And with the life insurance thing, a lot of people, who are doing these challenges, like Kameelah said, they don't have life insurance. Okay. They do not have life insurance.
Nothing.
And then if they die, what's going to happen? The burden of the family to bury you is on them. So why would somebody want to put their family in a situation where they have to bury them? What is it? Even health insurance, they don't have that. Yeah, they don't. And health insurance either. A lot of them don't have
care insurance. None of that.
They don't have health insurance. So when you don't have life insurance or what have you, what comes next? They're out here doing begging with the GoFundMe. So it's like, put your priorities in order. Make sure you have things in place to make some conscious and wise decisions. Because I remember early in the pandemic, my mom, we saw how serious this was. And my mom, no GoFundMe funds are available. They're not. And so my mom, we saw how serious it was with COVID, people losing their lives like every day. We even lost a family member to COVID. And I even had COVID. I'm thankful that I came out of it, but it's real out here. So my mom wanted to make sure that everybody in our family, we were covered with life insurance. So a lot of families need to make that decision to have that conversation. It's a hard conversation, but my mom, we got together a Zoom call with all of my cousins, aunts, and stuff on my mom's side. And, my mom being the matriarch, she could call the shots with the family. So we had a discussion about life insurance because at the end of the day, the burden is on the family to bury you. So it's very important that you have life insurance because a lot of these people doing these stunts, I'm sure they don't have life insurance. They haven't even thought about life insurance. They live for the moment. Right, that's double mourning. Your family is mourning losing you and mourning the financial burden that was left by your decisions. Absolutely resilient me.
And
that's absolutely true.
That is true, but not even if the person dies, if they have causes them to become a person with a disability that requires care all day long, or have, they can't live independently, that creates another burden on the family. And if you don't have long-term care insurance, or you don't have proper insurance, who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? So people have to understand these things before they start doing just basic critical thinking skills. Basic.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't have that. And I agree, like, just think about those things before you're doing it, because it was one of they called it, like Kameelah said, the Hood Olympics. And they were down at Gresham Park doing this, the crate challenge. Literally, they had to get police to navigate the traffic because of everything that was going on with this crate challenge. So just imagine if we put that much effort into doing something positive. There are a lot of positive things that we can be gathering for and challenging each other to do. We don't always have to do something that can be detrimental to your health or to your livelihood. I mean, come on now. And again, like I said earlier in the broadcast, Kameelah and I are not sticking to muds. We like to laugh. People know we're silly, and we like to, have fun and different things like that, but within reason. And aside from just the challenges, there have been a lot of pranks that people are doing. I know you all have seen a lot of the pranks that people are doing to people just coming up to random folks in stores and stuff. And back in, I think it was earlier this year in Nashville, Tennessee, a gentleman, he was coming out of one of those, what do they call it? Like a fun, like a game
place or something. Yeah, something like that. I can't think of the name of, like Urban Arts, one of those things where you do like, gaming place for kids and families.
And he was coming out the door, and it was a group of guys. They were acting like they were going to rob him, and they had one of the guys had a butcher knife in his hand, and because the man didn't know what was going to happen, he shot and killed him. Okay, so that's a horrible situation. People need to be very mindful of the things that they do, because number one, the gentleman who was minding his own business was armed. And he protected himself, because if I had been walking somewhere and someone came up to with a butcher knife like they were going to rob me and attack me, it's either you or me. It's a fight or flight type situation. So he killed this boy, and then come to find out it was a prank. So number one, it's unfortunate that, the young man lost his life. It's horrible. No one should have to die to the hands of a prank. And then on the other hand, you have this other man who was minding his own business that now has to go through the rest of his life knowing that he killed somebody because of a prank. So, just be mindful of those things before you think about, doing something for giggles and laughs or what have you. And it was also you've seen the people coming up to people inside the grocery stores. You have people coming up to people, I know I saw one when this guy would go up to people in Walmart, and he was saying the lyrics to a Megan Thee Stallion song. And some of the lyrics were very vulgar. So it was a woman, she was taken aback by it. So what if this woman wanted to take this a step further and said this man was sexually assaulting her or harassing her in the grocery store? And then there was another man that he went up to, that man was ready to fight. So you don't know the mindset of people you're coming up to and you're playing these games with. Everybody does not play that way. They don't play that way, and they don't find it humorous. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah, it's very sad that people feel they have to get fun. I mean, because there's a lot of stuff, even like the pranks where you see the guys pulling the chairs from underneath people at restaurants and stuff like that, and they think it's funny. And I'm like, what's funny about seeing somebody fall? I don't get it. I just don't understand. And they don't even know what these people may be going through. Somebody could have just had a surgery, and you've opened yourself up for another legal issue. You never know what the surgery, and you're dumb as hell. Excuse my language, because you're recording it. You're recording the evidence. So it's out there. You're putting yourself in a further liable situation because you're recording everything that you're doing. So you're giving yourself away for for trouble. So you're causing
And then, like other challenges that have gone on for years, like the last couple of years, I know it was the cinnamon challenge, and that was people taking a spoonful of cinnamon, and the goal was to swallow the dry cinnamon. without coughing or choking or anything like that. And anybody who knows what cinnamon is, it's always put on food very lightly because it's very strong. And I mean, it can block your lungs, your airwaves, and everything like that. So what's the likelihood of you not choking or coughing or anything like that? I mean, that's just crazy. But it spread like wildfire, and people were doing it left and right. Or the Tide Pods challenge, people were digesting laundry detergent. And see, when we say this stuff out loud, it sounds very crazy, but people were doing it. I mean, they were doing it. And then it was a young woman in the UK who died, doing what was it? You had to ingest 15 magnetic beads, or she didn't die, excuse me. She had to have surgery. I'm sorry. She had to have a part of her bowels removed because she ingested 15 magnetic beads. And then it was a young girl in Oklahoma who died. That's the one who died from the Benadryl challenge. So people are dying from these challenges, and they're having to have like life-altering surgeries due to, these crazy internet challenges. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, so we've talked about some of the consequences. I mean, have anybody in the chat, have you had to deal with that with your children or anything like that? Anybody participating in any of these challenges? I hope not, especially not grown folks. And also, we want to talk about, there have been some good challenges that have gone on the internet, like the dance challenges, those have been fun. And, even one that's circulating right now. Now, I know I can say this definitively. I could not do this to my mom. It's one where the scholarship prank where a child sits with their parent, and the parent, they'll say like, this person is the person I admire the most, and they go to tell this sob story about their life and say how their mother was a prostitute to support them. Granted, it's funny because it's really not hurting anyone, but the humor in it is that yes, the prostitution challenge, yes, that's the one. The humor in it is the reaction from some of the mothers. Now you have some mothers that go completely off because they're offended, and then you have some who are like, I want my child to get this scholarship, so let me just sit here and be quiet. So it's just hilarious. But I know if I had tried that with my mom, it would not have gone over well. So I think the kids know that.
They're like, what?
Yeah. So I think the children know their parents well enough to know how they will react in the situation, or the different dance challenges and different things like that. Those are pretty funny. And then even for example, even with the crate challenge, a lot of people were applauding this young woman right here because she had on high heels. But this can also be very scary as well, because she was, granted, she made it over. She did. She made it over the crates. She had on stilettos. She made it over. But if you take a good look at this woman, and I think Kameelah mentioned it earlier, she is probably trained in some form of dance, some form of gymnastics. Now, again, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But look at her technique. It's not as crazy as most of the people who have gotten up there just stepped up there. She's taking her time. She's very balanced doing it. And she looks like she's focused. So she has a plan. And a lot of people saw this and they was like, oh, this is motivating, or I can do it if she did it. And that's bad, because at the end of the day, granted, she made it across, and I'm not gonna lie, I was extremely impressed.
You did it faster in the hills.
But I didn't want to like it because I felt like it was encouraging bad behavior. You know what I mean? It felt like I was encouraging something that could possibly be bad, but again, this woman may be a trained gymnast. We don't know. We do not know her skill.
Trained in some type of, you never know what her background is as to why she was able to successfully make it across either. So that was dangerous, since stiletto heels going across a crate.
Yeah. And then, like I said, again, there could be a lot of other things that we can challenge ourselves to do. But Kameelah and I definitely wanted to put out there in the universe, let people know what the legal ramifications could be in the event that these pranks or challenges go wrong, what could possibly happen. And there are other things that we can definitely challenge ourselves to do instead of, doing these very scary, injury-prone challenges. Number one, you can do one that's what was it? What did Elijah say? When I was in the 8th grade, we played a game called Open Chest. It's where you punch someone as hard as you can in the chest. The school put a stop quickly. Kids were getting knocked unconscious. Yeah, and that was yeah. And Elijah, that was when you were in 8th grade. I'm not gonna tell on you, but that was a while ago. And again, I know somebody. I know of a situation where a boy was punched in the chest like that and he died. So that's very serious. That's extremely serious. What is it? Is there a way to make it safer? Right now, there's no safeguards. I'm gonna be honest, Thomas. I have no idea how that could be. The crate challenge could be done safer. I have no idea. I absolutely.
Some people made the suggestion of gluing the crates together and doing it that way, but still, that's still a liability because there's no safeguards to protect you if you fall.
I mean, it's a very weak piece of plastic. So what if they, in a lot of crates, some of them are older than others. What if your foot goes through it? You can still tilt over, and that would actually be worse. You know what I mean? I think if you like tilt over, you're coming from a higher level. Like Shanika said, don't do it. Yes, please just don't do it. I don't think you need to be trying to figure out any safer way to do the challenge, to be quite honest with you. I don't. And like I was before I said that other thing, I was thinking about some other things that we can do that are positive, that we can challenge ourselves. Like number one, a community beautification challenge. Like if you want to make something in your community look better, take that on as a challenge. You can definitely do that. A lot of communities need nice gardens. They need, some type of cleanup. So that would be a good challenge to do. Maybe challenge yourself to do a good deed for 7 days. That would be amazing. Like if you say to yourself, okay, I want to do something good every day for a week. And that would be great. Yeah. Yeah, too old to be falling. We all are too old to be falling. Support a minority-owned business for every month. So, you find a minority-owned business and you support that business. You can buy from them, shout them out on social media, do something to encourage their business. Invest in an HBCU. That would be amazing because a lot of people, they've graduated from HBCUs, and a lot of times we don't give back to our institutions. Mm-hmm. We don't, and that's why we see on a high level a lot of Black colleges and universities are folding because we don't have the financial backing that a lot of the major universities have because the alumni don't give back. So invest in an HBCU. Sickle cell awareness. Become aware about sickle cell. Know your sickle status. Kameelah and I both are carriers of the sickle cell trait. We have family members with the disease. We're advocates for awareness of the disease. There's an organization that my cousin founded called ASAP, Advancing Sickle Cell Advocacy Project. Get involved. This is a disease that definitely affects people of color.
And it's Sickle Cell Awareness Month, September.
Yes, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, so it's right around the corner. So definitely, if you don't know that much about the disease, try and find out about it and become, know your sickle status and let everybody know what it is and get awareness out there for it. How about wear your mask challenge? A lot of people refuse to wear a mask, and we want to get out of this pandemic. We want to definitely be able to float through the universe freely without the covering on our face. And for us single folks, if you're dating, you want to see the people out here you're looking at, you can't see nobody's face because they got a mask on because people don't want to wear the mask. So that's another way. Oh, hey, Jen. Kameelah's a Sarah too. Okay. What's another one? Workout everyday challenge. This is my challenge. Since I've recuperated from my injury, my challenge is to work out at least between 30 minutes to an hour a day. I don't care what I'm feeling like. I get up every morning. I do the workout. I do the work. So that's something that we can all do. Eat healthy challenge. So, I know we all have those moments where we want to eat bad food, but if we challenge ourselves to eat healthy at least one meal a day, or at least try to eat healthy majority of the days, that would be a good challenge to do as well. I'm an avid reader, so read a book a month challenge. I think that would be great. If you want to, you always can find encouragement or learn something in a book. That's the pathway to the world, I believe, is in a book. Pray every day. I pray every morning at 7:30 a.m. with my family. We have a community prayer. So I do that every morning religiously. That's a part of my everyday life. And this one is also very important to me. You can get a mammogram. Take your family, your friends to get a mammogram every month. You all do a challenge like, how many of my friends gonna get their mammograms? I bet I could get most of my friends to get a mammogram.
September 2nd.
Yes. So that's definitely some things that we can do. So also, I even thought about for myself, maybe the stop cussing challenge. Every time I say a curse word, just throw a quarter or something in a jar, and I'll get tired of doing that. So I might stop cursing a little bit. Sorry, Mom, but I might say a little curse word here and there. So those are challenges that I think are very important. So what about a travel challenge? Traveling opens the mind. Absolutely. And that's another thing. Traveling is very important. I miss it so much since the pandemic. I haven't been able to do anything and go anywhere. I have cabin fever, like I don't know what. So I would love to go somewhere and do an actual vacation out of the United States of America. And I want to do it on a plane and not in a car. I want to go somewhere in a plane. I don't care where it is, but I haven't done any of that because I'm afraid of COVID. Yes, Thomas, a push-up challenge. Ooh, that's my weakness. I can't really do push-ups right now because of my injury, but hopefully within a couple of months, I'll be able to do that. So yes, so that is all that I have. Kameelah, did you want to leave the folks with some lasting thoughts or lasting things you would like to say about our conversation today?
Just, thank you all for joining the conversation and just be healthy. And as Nora O'Donnell says, what does she always say? It's something about think positive, test negative.
Absolutely. And again, I just want to leave on the note of there's nothing wrong if you want to partake in a meme or a trend or getting creative with a challenge, but safety and self-awareness are still incredibly important to keep in mind. Think about your life, think about your family, and if any way it is going to alter your life, please do not do it. And for those who do not have life insurance and you might live in the Metro Atlanta area, well, not Metro Atlanta, in the South Florida area. I'm sorry. I'm so used to saying, Metro Atlanta, but in the South Florida area, my bestie, she's an insurance agent. So if you want to get life insurance, that's her email address. Definitely reach out to her, Marie. She's an insurance agent. So I'm going to give her a little plug right quick. So if you want to get some life insurance, please don't hesitate to do that.
And it's not a if you need to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she's proud of her young daughters. I'm young, Mom.
Well, thank you for calling me young. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. And before we go, I want to keep those in Louisiana in our prayers. If anybody is near that area, I hope you all are going to be safe. Please watch the weather and, make sure that you take every precaution that they're putting out there. I just have flashbacks of Hurricane Katrina, and it really makes me nervous. So I'm not claiming that, but just make sure that you take the necessary precautions. Also, I want to send my prayers to those in Afghanistan and the military members who have lost their lives. Again, thank you for your service. And it's just, a lot of things going on in the world right now, and challenges should not be something that's taking our attention away from things that really matter. So,
and we're kings and queens. We don't need to be knocking each other off a throne.
Absolutely. So great. So I just want to say thank you all for joining in, and I'll be back pretty soon. And thank you, Kameelah. Again, I enjoyed having this conversation live with you. So thank you. And everybody, I'm going to continue sipping on my Moscato. And again, thank you all for joining. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and share and like this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.